Could you maybe briefly introduce yourself?
Yeah, so my name is Sanjay. I'm from India and I have completed my study in IT stream and I run a computer center. So my work is related to education. So I have a good skill also in English language and I want to more advanced level. So that's why I'm using this app.
So it's quite important to your work to learn English.
Yeah, ma'am. It's a very important, nowadays mandatory language. Not me in India. There are so many students and people speak very well because we study as a second language in our schools and also university. So that's why it's a compulsory subject for us.
Yes, I've heard how essential it seems to be in India for jobs and everything. How early on is it that you start learning English? Do you learn it from primary school or what sort of age do you start to learn English at?
Yeah, ma'am. I studied my English when I enrolled in university. So our medium of study was English. So we had a knowledge of reading, writing, but we didn't much, speaking practice. So in COVID-19, I started my speaking, and I taught many teachers, students in English around India and also out of other countries. So yeah, I got a lot of experience and yeah, good knowledge about this language. So now I am able to also talk this language.
Yes, that's brilliant. There are quite a lot of people who they start off doing they know all the grammar and everything, but then they hear the accents. I don't know if you can hear my accent.
Yeah, I can understand very well, ma'am. I am understanding you very well. I don't have any problem to understand anyone.
That's
Yeah, I'm able to understand any country accent.
that's great because some people do struggle with my accent, so that
No, ma'am.
probably shows your standard of English.
Your accent is very easy. I am
Oh, thank
understanding
you.
very well. Yeah, there's no problem in your accent. Your accent is very easy. Anyone can understand, according to me.
No, I wouldn't say that. No, that is impressive if you can understand mine. So whereabouts in India do you live
Yeah, I
currently?
live in not part of India. It's Rajasthan. Rajasthan is a historical place of India, and its history has been a large and land. So I
Mm,
belong to, and we speak Hindi language, ma'am. But in Rajasthan, if you go to in different region, so you will find different dialect accent of the
mhm.
words. So sometimes difficult to understand. So India, there are, I can say, there are 400 languages in India according to their regions and their areas. So it is also mandatory to learn.
Are some of the accents quite similar in that you can understand parts of what they're saying, a bit like the Slavic languages, where there's a lot of overlap in sort of the grammar, the vocabulary?
Yeah, actually, these those languages are their traditional. So they
Mm,
speak their regions. Suppose I belong to Rajasthan. So in my Rajasthan, there are also many languages such as Marwadi, Mewadi, Dundadi, Mewati, there and also other languages. But I belong to Kota city. I belong to city. So we use Hindi language and also sometimes use English as a professional.
mm. Yes, I know English is quite commonly spoken as a second language um, in India. I've actually never been to India, but I would absolutely love to. The culture seems to be so different from the UK, but so interesting. You said that your area is quite historical. Are there lots of kind of old historic buildings?
Yeah, ma'am. There are so many castle forts here, and in my state, there many kings were born here, and yeah, it is also known as royal state of India. So
Mm,
it will be difficult to explain me, history about Rajasthan, but
mhm,
yeah, it's also named land of kings. So it name also so that land of kings. So you
mhm.
can also understand then it's land of kings. So there were many kings born and all as here, and that time they fought battle. So it's happening in the street time.
Would you learn about that history in school? Because I study history and we learn all about British history, and there's so little history about the rest of the world. I know obviously there was quite a significant British influence in India, but do you learn in school about Indian history?
Yeah, we also learn, ma'am, Indian history. When I was in school time, we have different subjects such as geography, history, social science, political science, and also many mathematics, or are also native subjects, and also as a second language English. So I study about. I can tell you a little bit history about Welsh princess, and there is a palace in my state. It's Jaipur. Jaipur, it's a pink city of India. So it name came from the state, and there was a prince. He wanted to visit pink city in his state time. He was from your country.
Oh,
So
right.
yeah, I mean from British. So that time they all was painted by pink color to welcome that prince. So that's why that city was popular from that history time. So so that's why Jaipur is also known pink city.
Oh, right. That's
Charles,
really interesting.
that prince name was Prince Charles. Charles Prince. He visited in Jaipur. You can search on ma'am Google, so you will find a university about my state. So it's a very large history.
Hmm. Yes, I this year I did quite a lot about the East India Company and
Yeah,
their
there was
influence in India.
yes, city company also set up was set up here in street time, and
Oh, did they?
there were many also British agencies here in the street time.
Hmm. Quite a big focus was on your spices and um, just the different things you could export, and they were taking control of it, I think, and charging you money for producing your own products. So it's always very interesting because you don't often think about that. And going around Britain and realizing a lot of the wealth was actually created in places like India. And I just find it so interesting. So it's interesting to hear that history from you.
Yeah, ma'am. And Rajasthan history has been a very long. When you, I think, when in India, I would say, ma'am, you must also visit Rajasthan. You will
Mm.
see culture. It's a very cultural, state of mind, and we give respect every people from whether he's from any children, and also at we respect. Firstly, we give priority respect of our guests. So
Hmm.
we consider guest as a god, and we give best hospitality.
Yeah, treat guests very well, I'm assuming. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've heard of that beforehand.
and our costume is also, ma'am, different when we celebrate wedding and also functions, birthday parties. So we wear a costume. uh,
Hmm.
I today I haven't I didn't I haven't worn my tradition costume, but yeah, and next time if I meet you, then I will show you my costume. There will be my turban. It's turban in my head, and also a forehead mark. It shows our culture. And if you want to see Rajasthan, so you need to search also in Google, YouTube. So you need to watch a YouTube video, so you will get a guess about Rajasthan.
I had the very fortunate experience of my friend. She's not from India, but she has I think her parents were originally from India. And she was putting on, is it called a Sanjeet? A Sanjeet, is it called?
My name is ma'am Sanjay.
Oh, no, no. There is a celebration called Sanjeet, is it called?
Sanjit, yeah, yeah, ma'am. Sanjit. It's
Sanjeet.
also Indian name. Sanjit, or maybe Sandeep. It's Indian name.
Sangeet, is it? Yeah. Or
Yeah, music. It's called ma'am music. Yeah, yeah.
yes.
We have music. We have also ma'am a tradition dance here in Rajasthan. So that dance was also popularity at international level. So the
Yeah.
dance was also won many prizes at international. Our country dance performed at different countries, so people like that dance. And yeah, when many the tourists visit in state, so also many you know see those musics and dance, so they like most their dance.
Yes, my friend set one up. It was an upbeat Sangeet, and they were putting on lots of traditional music, doing dancing. There was food as well, Indian food, which was a little bit too spicy for me. I'm not too good with the spicy food, but it was absolutely lovely. She also provided traditional dress for us, which was interesting to see as well. So
Yeah.
I have a slight idea of the kind of amazing parties that are put on in India and the celebrations.
Yeah, ma'am. In different state, India, it's a diversity of India. So you will see different culture, tradition. But we celebrate festival every month, ma'am. India is a festival country and also colorful. So when you go to in different states, so you will see different foods, cuisine. So I think when you take taste of those food, I think you will never forget in your life because you will also say again say demand for that food.
Yeah, yeah. So were you then brought up in the area, or did you move there for a job? Have you been there your whole life?
Sorry, ma'am. Pardon.
Were you brought up in the area, or have you moved into it?
No, ma'am. I live in my state, ma'am. I was born and study here, so I didn't move
All right.
because my parents didn't let me go out of state. So I run a computer center, so it is at my palace. So I didn't move because if I went to other states, so there was some difficulty to live here. So that's why I prefer to stay here.
Yes, do you feel that kind of the difference in the cultures of areas you were saying about the diversity of India? Do you feel that kind of divides districts or different areas and different provinces, or do you think that
No, ma'am.
it's still a very connected place, India?
Yeah, it's a very connected, ma'am. There's no difference when you go every state. So they have their languages and also their foods according to their tradition, and so that's why they live according their regions. And when you go to Tamil Nadu, Kerala, so people speak their regional language like Telugu, Kannada, and they have different foods such as masala dosa, and we live in North part India, so we speak in the language, and we have also tradition food, but we take lentils, rice, chapati, and also our tradition foods. It's called, ma'am. Uh, they are special thali, ma'am, Rajasthani. So we take this thali in the special on wedding and functions, birthday party. So it's a very delectable, ma'am.
That sounds lovely. Yes, you're making me hungry. You'll hear my tummy rumbling after that. But I've just noticed there we have 30 seconds left. I'm just saying that you want to know the level of your English. I thought it was very, very impressive, and the fact you can understand me is very impressive. So I thought that was a great conversation, and thank you for telling me about your country. It's so interesting. I would love to visit it. If you want to chat again, I have my availability on my